Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk a little bit more about Mason Cox and the situation that he currently exists in. It's ironic he was dropped last night because I did want to have a chat about him anyway, but the teams beat me to the punch, but that's okay. Where is Mason Cox at right now in his career? And look, we have seen players come from further back than where Mason Cox is right now. You could probably argue Billy Frampton is someone who's come from a long way back, far beyond where Mason Cox is right now. The only difference is with Mason Cox is the age differential. I mean, Frampton is probably 5 or 6 years younger, so he has youth on his side to try and redeem himself, which is what he's done. But Cox is down bad on form, and he's never been statistically amazing. Like that's not if you're trying to get a gauge for what Mason Cox brings to the Collingwood Football Club, you're not going to get that in the form of stats. But there are a couple of metrics that you can look at. You go, okay, yep, I see that, I see this. He's down to nearly half a contested mark per game this year, whereas last year that was right up at 1.5 contested marks per game. And that's essentially what Mason Cox brings to the team, along with his ability to win the hitouts and put them in really good positions in those ruck duels. So he went from winning 30. He went from having 30% of his hitouts leading to an advantageous position, all the way down to 18% this year. And the ruck contest and all that sort of stuff, nothing's really changed. It's just the matter of the fact is he's not winning his aerial duels. He's dropping marks that he probably should be taking, and he's not doing where we've grown accustomed to in those ruck duels and being a really good second ruckman. And if he's not even going to be that, then his role becomes redundant in a side that's doing really well. We know at the start of the year, he was out of favour. McStay was the second ruckman, and that's the way we've gone. And it's seemingly, if it keeps going in the way that it is right now, he probably will continue to be the second ruckman when he comes back. We didn't bring Oscar Steen in, so we don't want that second ruckman. It was either Mason Cox or we're not interested by the looks of it. So he's been dropped, and McStay's not even available yet. So that's how far off he is right now. So I was very bullish about Mason Cox in the preseason. And why? Because when he came back from injury last year, we saw moments like this against Sydney, against Brisbane, just hit outs to advantage, quality looks. So I wanted to share some of these while I'm talking, but contested marks, like I think in this game against Sydney, he had 5 contested marks, and that's more than, I think he's had 4 this year. So he's had more in one game last year than he has so far this year. So that speaks to where he's at with his marking confidence. Look at this. Contested mark 2-on-1 against Nick Blakey and Brodie Grundy. That's not an easy feat, is it? Defensively, as a ruckman, if you're playing as a ruckman for Collingwood, you have to be able to do this and roll back and assist our defence. That's a massive intercept mark with one hand there. So these are the things that we need Mason Cox to bring back. That's a nice little hit out to advantage into space for Pendlebury. Look at this one. Feeds it right into Sidey's throat. These are the things we were getting from Coxie in this stretch of form in those last 5 games last year. Straight down Schultz's throat there. We're not getting that this year. And I don't know what it's going to take to get him to where we need him to be. First and foremost, it's going to start in the VFL. But as I said, he's coming from a long way back. Yes, okay, Tristan Sherry, fair enough. He dominated both DC and Mason Cox. So how much do you rate it? I don't know. But beyond that, he hasn't been much better. Like if we look at some of his games here from this year thus far, like he had a negative rating against North, yeah. And once again, champion data can be a little bit off, but 3 touches, no contested marks. It seemed like he was maybe making some positive steps after the Adelaide game, I think it was. 2 contested marks. So, but beyond that, donuts. 1 and 1. So 4 contested marks in 6 games from someone who's 7 foot. I love the guy. I do. When he's up and about, he's a game changer. He's pivotal, but he's just not bringing that. And I mean, that game we just spoke about, that was his highest rated game in God knows how long. He had a game against Port Adelaide early in the year, but 15.25 contested marks, 1 intercept. He's not getting his shots either. So if we go to his profile here, his shots are way down as well. And look, he's played 16 games last year, right? In 6 games, usually your stats are inflated because it's such a small sample size. Whereas right now, Coxie's stats are down. Look, like I said, down 8 points here, zero point 0.8 decimal points here. Down marks inside 50, way down. Shots down. Like these numbers, while there's only been a small number of games that he's played so far this year, they should really be higher than last year for now. And then this one is damning. Always been like a perennial 30% hit outs, right? And fair number. 18%. No good. It's a little bit concerning. I'm hoping, for the sake of, look, when Mason Cox is playing well, he brings a little extra to the team. So I'm hoping he can find some sort of form. My gut feeling tells me he's coming from too far back right now. Barring injury, knock on wood, we don't see that, but it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. Tackling pressure's sort of not there. Pressure acts, what are we saying? Pressure acts, right, buddy? It's just all down. Like, there's nothing here that... And, he doesn't play a lot of time on ground. That's okay. We know that. But it's much the same this year compared to last year anyway. So, kicking efficiency, I don't know what that comes down to. 30%. When has he ever averaged 30% kicking efficiency? Has he been inaccurate in front of goal as well? Let's see. I mean, he's more accurate. So just by foot in general play, he's been poor. And he's not even having his moments. Like, remember against Footscray earlier this year, he didn't have much of a game, but in that last quarter, he had that incredible contest and then fed Bobby Hill for a really important goal. He's not even doing that right now. So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but this is some people. Yeah, maybe the game's going past him. Who knows? But I just want to share my 2 cents and hopefully, not hopefully, but maybe let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and we'll talk next time. Go Pies.